Oh, we're
I
on.
can hear it.
What can you hear? Anyway, hi, my name's Dave. I'm also known as InfectedFlinch, and we are doing the InfectedStream number 3. And apparently these two can hear noises, but I can't hear it. So like Dave Webster, he can hear things.
Mm.
So introduce yourself, sir.
Hello, my name's Dave. And your name's Dave too.
There you go. And I've also got...
My name's not Dave. My name is Stefan.
Stefan, indeed. So, yeah, we're doing this at probably one of the worst times of the year.
Yeah, well done.
Well, I tried to do it when nothing was on, but it looks like Microsoft's doing their bit at the minute. So.
No, it was on earlier. I had to pause it, go watch Game of Thrones, come back, and then try and watch it, but I ran out of time.
You're out of time.
So if they announced something at the end that was amazing, I don't know.
Well, the only thing that seems kind of interesting is like you can put your Xbox 360 games into the Xbox One, and it'll download it, and it'll work.
Yeah, 2 years too late.
A little bit, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't get the point in that, because if you've got an Xbox 360 catalogue, surely you've got an Xbox 360.
But, I mean, I kind of liked it with the PS2 when you could play PS1 games. I kind of like that. But
I think it's a good feature, but like it made it very easy for me to go from Xbox 360 be my main platform to PS4 be my main platform because they both started from scratch.
Yeah,
if Microsoft were like, oh, and it'll do all the Xbox 360 games, I might have gone, no. Give me something to think about.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, what else did Microsoft even say? I mean, they're doing a Gears of War 4, which we knew that were coming at one point.
We knew that was coming. They showed Halo 5, which looked like Call of Duty, in my opinion. It looked very scripted, very linear, very. I'm bored of it now, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how you can kind of get so much out of Halo now. What do you think to Halo, Dave?
Halo, I liked the first 1 and 2. I thought were really good, and then
what do you reckon to 3?
And I don't know, 3 was okay, but it felt like more of the same.
Yeah,
I did like ODST. I thought that was a little bit different, but the later ones just seemed like more of Halo 3.
ODST was just Firefly.
Yeah.
Have you seen him taking Buck and he's now a Spartan?
Really?
So Nathan Fillion's character is now a Spartan because I know that seems like an ultimate fan wanky thing to do. It's like, oh, there's a popular character, let's make him a Spartan. So,
it's overstayed its welcome. I mean, in fairness though, they've been doing this like radio show thing, and it's been quite good. They've been basically saying that like Master Chief isn't actually Master Chief, he's somebody else. So it sounds like a retcon, if anything. Yeah.
Well, they killed Cortana in the last one, and I just flat out don't believe it. Like, it's that point where I thought, oh, I bet she's back by the end of 5. It's like, bet anything on it.
Yeah, but it's just like...
She's working for Microsoft now. She's on your phones.
She's on mine. She's on mine. On this one.
Oh, yeah. That makes me laugh that, like, Halo is, like, the one brand Microsoft have that is, like, got any sort of, like, love. So everything now is like Halo branded. So you got like Cortana, and the new web browser is called Spartan.
Is that what it's
like,
called?
Yeah, Spartan. It genuinely is. And it's like every time you announce something new, it's like, here's this Halo name we've used. You like Halo, right?
I love Halo. Keep forcing Halo down my neck. It's not like we've had it since 2001. Here, have a bit more. Sigh.
But it's like, you know how it's done by 343 Industries now?
Yeah.
That name's a reference to Halo, so they're like a Halo company.
Mm.
Well, like Black Tusk Studios, who are now doing Gears of War, they've been renamed a Coalition.
I wondered who Coalition were.
As in COG.
Yeah.
So it's like, now they're just going to make Gears of War games, and it's just like, that I'd hate to work for them. That must be just soul destroying. What we're working on next? Another one. Like,
I mean, that's another series where I'm just like, why do we need it? I mean, the third one, the story was fucking bollocks, wasn't it? It was horror. There was no. It wasn't even a story.
It was like, it just had no bearing on any of the other ones. It's like, oh, trilogy, we haven't figured it out. And the third one is like, they clearly didn't figure anything out.
No, I mean, the one thing that really annoyed me with it was like, and we've talked about this before. It's like in the second one, it's saying like the actual bad guys were humans that were tested on, and then in the third one, they just go, yeah, forget it, never happened. Just give it.
Yeah.
They just literally just go, yeah, we're just gonna rewrite that. Thanks, bye, and that's it. It just never happened. That's almost like a rewrite of history.
Yeah, I'm just checking the news in case I missed anything, but I don't think so.
To be honest, Bethesda's done pretty well.
Oh, I watched that. I don't know if I'm just a grumpy bastard, but like,
Why? Why?
right, well, they showed Doom 4, right? Well, Doom, because
Yeah.
you know, and that was that did nothing for me. Really did nothing. Because they have these executions in and these canned animations, and they got boring just watching the gameplay trailer. So it's like when I'm playing the game, it's like, oh, I ripped his leg off again. Oh, I smashed his head in again. Oh, you know, it's just like the chainsaw attacks. Oh, it's the same motion. Oh, they fall apart the same way. Oh, and it's just like, I think that's a really bad marker for the game. It's not doomed to have these canned like executions, and they glow. The enemies glow for their execution.
Did
So
you
it's kind of like, oh, you can go in and finish them now. And I'm like, oh, come on.
did you not think it was pretty cool the fact that like one bit where it was just like jumping around and just shooting things, doing old school Doom?
I won't call it old school Doom. I mean, like, it looked better than Doom 3.
Yeah.
Did you like Wolfenstein?
Yeah, that's it. I did like New Order. I played the Old Blood this weekend, and I like that as well. So, I mean,
Have you finished it?
Qatar, so yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I like those. So I guess there is some hope for it, but it was just like, I don't know. It wasn't my Doom. But I mean, I think that's part of the problem is everyone has their own version of Doom in their head.
I think it looked spot on. I liked it, but it doesn't take much to impress me anymore, to be honest. But I'm not one of these people that will kind of just get rolled over with it either. I kind of like the whole fact that they stuck the map maker back in it.
Yeah, that was the most interesting part. I think that could be really promising. I mean, you'll get thousands of E1M1s, but like, you know, it will give an opportunity for like.
If you can have that in it, to be honest, I'm surprised they didn't hear it.
But well, do you know, because it's a Metallica song?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So they might get sued if they go back there. But yeah, it reminded me of Time Splitters. Do you ever play with the map maker in Time Splitters?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, look at this new feature. It's like, oh, that was in Time Splitters.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it for being there. It's just like I was a bit like, yeah, you know.
You are really.
I know. And I looked at Fallout 4. I was like,
to be honest, I wasn't sold on Fallout 4 before, and now that I've watched a little bit of it, I'm a bit, ooh, you might sway me there. Ooh. Have you seen any of it, Dave? Have you?
No, I've been having a look, but I haven't seen anything until now.
Yeah, to be honest, it's really weird because me and Stefan were saying about it. It's like, I don't know. Have you seen the actual announcement trailer?
No.
No.
When did that come out? Was it today?
It was last week, wasn't it, Stefan?
Yeah, last week, or maybe a week before. It came out really early, and they were like, "Hey, Fallout 4 from nowhere. We said nothing for ages. Here it is."
But the graphics engine, it looks pretty and all, but it just looks like Skyrim. It's really, I can't really put until Stefan said it, because I thought, oh, it looks really nice, and then Stefan just went, it's still the same engine. There's not much.
I've ruined it for you.
You have a little bit.
It's the character models. They're clearly slightly better than they were, but still, it's like, you know, when you get up in their face they're talking to you, and they look rubbish. Yeah.
With Fallout 3, it did that whole thing when you went up to them. It was worse in Oblivion, where it'd just be like, "Hello." How are you? Oh, is he going to talk? No, is he gone? How are you, puss?
Oh, bad puss.
In your face.
But yeah, like with Fallout 4, it's like they put a lot of customization in, and you can build your own house and stuff. And like, and this might be a bit too deep, but like, it looks like they've taken what they did for Hearthfire, the expansion for Skyrim, and just like blown it up massively, which is good and all. But like, building a house in Fallout, it doesn't feel like something you want to do in that universe. You know, in like a sort of fantasy setting, the idea of you being a warrior, then retiring, getting some land and building a house and like retiring there, that fits the context. But Fallout's like, I'm gonna build a house.
I don't know. It's a strange. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, the one thing that kind of threw me off, they were talking about putting in tower defense.
Yeah, that's the house. Yeah, that's the house. So you build your house, so you have to make defenses for it, because raiders will try and attack you.
Thoughts on that, Dave? Thoughts on that? It's all about you now, Dave.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think whether it's becoming more like an RPG. Because Fallout never really, well, at least Fallout 3 never really felt like an RPG. It was more of an action game with sort of like RPG combat, and this is making it more like build your castle, defend it.
Yeah, and they've actually stuck in like weird Mass Effect conversational trees as well, which is like, you know, like how you have that whole, like, you've only got so long to answer it and it's like in 4 bits.
Yeah.
It's got that going off, which is really weird. For a Bethesda game, it's very weird. I kind of like the fact they've done it, but at the same time, it's like, why are you doing that? Because
he's been playing Dragon Age Origins, and that's got similar mechanic.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
But like with the thing with the Bethesda games, for me personally, because the guy talks in this one, he actually talks.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And you're basically doing Mass Effect by the looks of things, which is a bit. I'm not feeling, because it was all about like you impose your person on that character. That's how I saw it.
So do that in Dragon Age Inquisition as well. So like they have the voice, but you get to make your own choices. And like really early in on the game, I realised that I didn't like the voice of my character. And I was stuck with it, and it wasn't like I picked the one I liked the most. I think there might be 3. So I picked the one I liked the best, and then I got like a few hours in and went, it's totally wrong. I was like this wood elf. I had this really sort of posh, like city voice. I was like, that's not my character. And I was stuck with this voice. And it just, I don't know. I'd rather not have a voice than a voice which doesn't fit.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that with Fallout 4. I really don't. So.
I've told you before, it's like bring in vehicles or go home.
Yeah.
Like,
it sounds like they're going to put them in though. But
does it? Maybe an expansion. We'll save it for expansion.
Yeah, save it for expansion. Be right. Put it in some other time. Be right.
But for me, the whole idea of like building your house and everything like that and scavenging, it's like, oh, what's got there? But it's like you want a vehicle. Like you'd always be on the move in the wasteland, but you never really settle anywhere. I basically want a Mad Max game.
There's one coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, hopefully it's good, because like I don't think I'll get Fallout.
If it's terrible, we will never hear the end of it. Never.
I think I'll just walk off
into the wilderness, never to be seen again. I can imagine you doing that. I really could. Just be like, I don't want to be on this planet anymore. Then into the distance, Stefan goes.
2 men enter, or 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah. No, what was the other thing that was with Bethesda as well? They've released some kind, or they've said Dishonored 2 is coming. that's something else.
That was the one thing. I mean, it was just a CG trailer, so show me more. But like, I really like Dishonored, so
Still got it and never played it.
It's like, you know, they won me over. Like, I had a real problem with like the corporate and PR marketing speak of Bethesda. Did you watch the conference?
I watched bits and pieces of it. I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
They had this whole thing where it's like, oh, we're gamers, we're making gamers for gamers, and like we love making games, and we're all about that. But like every sentence, you know, had been screened through like 5 different committees and like honed, and like it just came off incredibly like false and mannered. And it really wound me up. Apart from when Arcane came out, and we're like, you know what, we love building simulations in games, and that's what we're about. And I was like, yes, you are about that. And like that's what I want from games. And it went, here's Dishonored 2. And I was like, yes, that's the game I want.
Yeah, it's weird because like, what was it? Was it The Division?
Oh yes, have you seen The Division? They did another trailer for it, and it was significantly worse than it did. You know, Ubisoft have got a track record of this.
Yes, they have.
Of this intro trailer which looks mind-blowing, and then like years later you actually see the product, and it's like, what happened?
I remember the trailer for that where like they were like this multiplayer thing going off, and they were like, oh, go to 7G and make sure you shoot that guy. Oh, I'm getting hit, and it was just like, who talks like that in multiplayer? They usually just go, fuck off, I'm gonna kill you. Or just something like that.
Yeah, they did that in a Rainbow Six Siege trailer. They had one of those as well, and that doesn't look as good as it did last year. And they had that, oh, make sure you take the roof, and like, we need to go in 3, 2, 1, and all this sort of talk you never hear.
Nobody does that. They just
nobody does it.
Literally, the one time when somebody was talking to me, they were basically rapping and calling people ghetto. That was on Left 4 Dead 2. And I'm just like, that's what I want. If you're going to watch a trailer, you're just going to be like, yo, what up? Like, just talking like that and just saying, fuck off, die.
They're not going to call each other chums.
No.
Chums.
Is that how you play your games, Dave?
That's 1940s Battlefield, isn't it? Authentic.
1942 or 43?
41. 42.
42.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never played it.
I enjoyed Battlefield 1943. That was the Xbox Live Arcade version. I got that for free for some bizarre reason. But it was good. I enjoyed that.
Didn't it used to be a Counter-Strike mod years and years ago? I remember hearing about it a long time.
I think Left 4 Dead was a Counter-Strike mod. That I am certain of. That was. That was just people with knives. That were all it were, but it were like they were infected with knives, and then the people that were just like 4 players trying to survive and kill them off. So that's where Left 4 Dead came from.
Cool, didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not that interesting, but yeah. Anyway, I'm just having a look at comments. I've got Smooth MJ, evening chaps.
Evening, chum.
Evening.
Chum. And AD Sneaker Freak say, now then, lads.
Now then.
But yeah, we're going to keep checking with this, so don't worry. We will
actually check this time.
Yeah, we last time we did it, we kind of got on a bit of a tangent waffle, didn't we? Tangent Waffle sounds like some kind of weird psycho progressive band. Make that band happen, Stefan.
Me?
Yes.
Why is this on me?
Because you have a bass guitar. Mind you, Dave, you have a guitar. There you go.
I do.
You can play a keyboard, Dave.
A little bit.
We can bundle together. We'll make it avant-garde. So let's play one note for half an hour.
We are Tangent Waffle. Pew! Pew! Like that. I am Electro Boy. Could you do it like that?
Have you watched Frank yet?
No. Stefan tells me these things to watch, and I get to them eventually. I've been watching Breaking Bad.
Good.
Is it the first time you've seen it?
Oh, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, have you watched it through before?
No, I've managed to get to the second to last episode of series 3, but that episode was just like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was wow.
Fantastic series.
I must admit, I watched the first series, like the first season of it, ages back, and I just found it really depressive, and I couldn't get through it. But I understand why it was like that now, but I just couldn't seem to get past it because I was just a bit of a pussy, really.
It gets exciting as it goes along.
Yeah.
More and more exciting.
Yeah, because at the start you think a lot of it's going to be about the cancer, and that sort of gets shoved into the background a bit.
It's really weird, actually. That just kind of disappears, doesn't it? You know. Spoiler alert, everyone. Spoiler alert.
No, it's still there. It's not like, but it's like the focus sort of shifts onto the drugs and the hijinks.
Yeah.
You know, and like the escalation and the the holes they find themselves in.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse, Christ, some of the stuff he does, you know.
I like
Anyway.
the thing with Walter that he does it at the beginning because he's got to, and then it turns into he's doing it because he likes it.
Yeah, I kind of. I said this I can't remember who I said it to, but it's like he's just a bad man.
Yeah.
He generally is just a bad man. There's nothing good about him. He's probably bad to the core. I'm guessing when he gets towards the end.
Can't say.
Can't
Spoil
say.
it.
Yeah, don't go spoil it.
I'm taking it as he is a bad man. True bad man. Bad man. Hang on, I'm doing my Fallout talking. Where would you like to go? You could see every follicle on my crop. I've got a blue Yeti. Did you know that?
I did.
I know you did. I'm just saying it because it was a conversation starter. Does it sound alright? Does it sound good?
A little clippy. Can you adjust it?
Clippy. Oh, hang on then. Hang on then. What have we got here? Does it sound alright now?
Ooh.
Does it sound good?
Sound like a radio DJ.
You're listening to smooth jazz. Hang on. How about now? How's that sound?
Northern.
A what?
Northern.
Norman?
Northern.
I thought it said Norman. Who the fuck's Norman? Does that sound better?
That
Yeah.
does sound better.
Does
Yeah.
that sound better?
It sounded like you're just hitting like max sensitivity all the time.
But yeah, I got a blue Yeti for my birthday, so I can be the pumpkin and all kinds of creepy shit. Because that's what you like, innit?
Everyone likes him.
Do you know what? With the pumpkin, it was actually I gave a video to Lactobacillus Prime, and apparently it was the most thumbed down video.
I saw that.
Purely because of the pumpkin. I felt that was an achievement, but I felt really bad for him. So that's why I've not done the character since.
Oh.
So yeah, I think he frightens people, doesn't he?
He's coming out of his shell.
He's coming out of his patch.
Yeah, his patch.
His patch. Let's see what comments we've got here. I've got AD Sneaker Freak saying 2142. What was that a reference to? Oh, that was Battlefield, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you guys play that?
No.
Sorry, Eddie. That's it. No, we did. Did you play it, Dave?
I didn't. Sorry.
Wow. Sorry, Eddie. We suck.
I don't think I've ever actually played any Battlefield game.
I remember playing Bad Company, and that was really good. Bad Company was a lot of fun.
Yep, so I've heard. Yeah.
I was expecting that sounds delightful.
No, a lot of people have got about Bad Company. It seemed like it was just a bit overlooked, and now,
It's just a footnote, isn't it? I think. Like Hardline. I think Hardline's going to be one of those games that's just going to be a footnote on Battlefield, I think.
It's weird how much it's changed, and how little people acknowledge that. You know, it's. Oh, me and Dave did simultaneous head scratching. So sorry.
What, Dave Webster or me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you two.
Unless we all did this.
Should we all do it at once? Should we all do it? Hang on. There we go. Whew. That was good. I love
Refreshing.
It was refreshing. Sorry. Anyway, going back to comments. Lighty Stone Hannah says, "Hey,
Hey.
what a wonderful time to play." And I don't remember the other words. I was doing Arthur. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wish I was dead. Yeah. Where were we? Dave, start a conversation. Go on, mate. You've been more.
Okay. You've got a PS3. Sorry, a PS4 rather. What games are you playing at the moment?
Sorry, mate. You broke up.
Yeah. You've just recently got a PS4. You were saying a few months back. What games are you excited about? What games are you playing?
Ooh, go on then, Stefan.
Well, I recently played Bloodborne, which was great. That's like the first sort of exclusive essential game for the system, I think. There's lots of my PS4 collection already is bigger than my PS3 collection, so I'm buying games for it. I'm really liking them, but that was the first one where I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the proper first one where everyone should own this, and you could only get on PS4. And I played the Old Blood, which I liked a lot.
So you've actually finished the Old Blood then?
Yeah. Finished it on Sunday. I thought it was much better balanced than the New Order. But I was in the comments, like a forum, and like people were like, "Oh, it's not as good as like New Order." It's see, people thought it was harder and stuff. I was like, "What? Is this a different game?"
Yeah, I was
really
the same.
Confused.
I was just like, "Are we all playing the same thing here?" But yeah, Old Blood. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing was it was clear they didn't have as much money to throw at it this time. But it did feel like at the same time they'd learned a lot game-wise from making the New Order, which they put into the Old Blood. It felt better as a game.
Yeah, it's. I didn't realise that the Wolfenstein game was. It was. Do you remember the Darkness, the first one?
Yeah.
Partially, some of the guys from that team, I think it was some of the Starbreeze lot, they went off and made machine games.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was a really kind of different game for the time.
I loved the Darkness, the first one.
On your side, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. And plus, as well, there was one bit like, do you know, like it is? I don't know. I mean, you both played New Blood, haven't you? You both have.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the story was quite good. Like some of the bits, like some of the actual story that kind of made you go along. I thought it did it quite well, but it wasn't too. What's the word? Not oversaturated, if you know what I mean. It just did its thing, but it did it really well. If that makes sense. Both New Order and Old Blood.
Alright, because you said, have you both guys have both played the New Blood? And I was like, what?
Oh, sorry, New Order. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's weird because, like, the Darkness did the same thing. It's like there'd be certain bits in it that didn't kind of, like, it wasn't just a constant cutscene, but when it was a big cutscene...
You know what? Like,
you
know, I got shades of all the way through the Old Blood in particular. Half-Life 2.
Yeah. And
I wish I'd made notes because there's bits I was like, that's Half-Life 2. That's Half-Life 2. It's like, it's amazing. Like, it's like they played Half-Life 2 again. I went,
Yeah. No, to be honest, Dave, I'd tell you to buy it because it's only like 15 quid for PS4. I'd definitely. Yeah,
it took me 8 hours to complete. So I mean, that's it. That's like I played shorter full price games. There's a lot to it. I mean, I play games really slow. I can't help but like, ooh, what's over here?
Well, you have the toilet. You have the toilet test anyway that you do in every game.
Yeah, there was no toilets, but there was like There was this room where you go into this library and there's this painting on the wall and this like pedestal with this golden thing on, and then you can see in the floor there was this like circular outline. And if you go up to it, BJ's like, looks like there's something on the other side of this wall. and then you have to go and find the key to put in the pedestal to turn the wall around, and it's a secret area.
Oh, is there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's full of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It reminds me a little bit of the original game where you've got the walls that you can push.
Yeah, because in the Old Blood, like it was in New Order as well. You can find these beds, and you can sleep in the beds, and then you play like old school Wolfenstein.
Yeah, because that's rife. That's rife in old blood. I keep saying New Blood. Yeah, because like you can keep finding all the little hidden bits because you can literally play the whole of Wolfenstein 3D in Old Blood, which is really weird. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it just annoys me. The one thing that really annoys me about it, what people were saying, it's like it's more of the same thing, and it's like you fuckers wanted more. This is what they've given you. That's the game. If you don't want to play it, fuck off.
For 15 quid, you can't really argue.
No. And to be honest, like Stefan says, I mean, for a 15 quid game, there's more content in that game than most full-fledged games these days. What's it called? Fucking 1888 or wherever the.
Oh, The Order.
Yeah, that full-price game that were only 3 hours long or something.
Yeah, I played some of that.
So it's like, what do you expect? But there you go. It's Bethesda knowing what they're doing, which is weird at the minute. It's really
I'm finding with the PS4 you can get a lot of games reasonably priced now. I'd say a year ago, a lot of new games were really, really expensive and held the value, but they seem to be dropping. You can build up a good collection for less than 15 quid a game.
I think if you're looking in the right places, I think you can.
I think since Black Friday last year. I mean, I think the only full price game I've ever bought is Bloodborne, and that's because I had to have it. Like everything else, I've just waited a little bit and picked it up cheap.
Yeah.
Mind you, I think I paid full whack for Bloodborne actually. It still infuriates me though. It really does.
Is it as good as it's described?
I think it is.
Don't talk to me. It's right. It's a horrible term, but the only way I can describe it is battered housewife. That's what I'm like with it, because I get the shit beaten out of me every time I go near it, and I put it down, turn it off, walk away, and then I just go, maybe I'll just go and play it again, and I'm back in again, and literally it just beats the crap out of you. Just some bits, just literally for being there.
See, I think it's easier than Dark Souls.
I see. It's depend. I mean, how do you play it, Dave? Have you played Dark Souls?
I haven't played any of that series. Confessions.
Get out.
You need to play. I think I'd say play Souls before you even go near Bloodborne.
This is why I didn't touch it, because I thought, well, maybe I should play either Dark Souls 1 or 2.
I think you could go straight into Bloodborne. My stepdad started with Bloodborne, and like I sat down with him and was like, right, I'll show you how to play these games, and it turned out he'd figured most of it out himself. I
think Bloodborne's probably a little simpler with what you can and can't do. I think, but I found it harder because the way I play Souls is to use a shield, and that's just not there in Bloodborne. So I used to basically back off, take a beating, and then just go back and whack them once, and you can't do that on Bloodborne. You have to jump around a lot, and
makes you work for it.
And it's Stefan's kind of game because you have to strategically plan it. So you have to look around, and me, I'm slapdash. I'll just run in, flailing around, trying to hit things. Because I think it annoys you, Stefan, that I play like a tank.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like there's something to like not like taking the hits. It's sort of like Because when I played Dark Souls, I played it as a thief character, and you can't really, if you block with your shield, it takes all your stamina. You can take damage as well because your shields aren't good, and it's just like, I just find it so much satisfying to have this big hulking thing go, I just can't touch me, and I'm just there like slashing at it and killing it. You know, satisfaction of like just outmaneuvering and out fighting someone rather than just being like, well, I'm just gonna wait. Now it's my turn. You know?
Yeah, I prefer that. Mind you, you have a video from Bloodborne on your channel that's called Pig Fisting.
Pig fisting, yes. You can fist pigs in it. It's brilliant.
That's actually very true. Anyway, some comments. Lighty Stone Hannah says, pretty sure Wolfenstein is on the Steam sales right now.
Go PC.
And 80 Sneaker Freak says, you lads upgraded your hard drive on your PS4 yet? I haven't.
No.
Yes.
You have?
Me, I did. When I first bought it, first thing I did.
You need to tell me how to do that, because I need to do it on mine.
Well, I did it when I first got it, because that's the easiest way of doing it, because you don't have to do a transfer. I just pulled, I didn't even turn it on, I just pulled out the old hard drive, put the new one in. You can download a like a firmware patch from the internet from Sony's site. You stick it on a USB sticker, you plug it in, and then it just installs on the firmware onto the hard drive.
All right.
Yeah, I got a 1 terabyte, 7,200 RPM drive. So I double the storage, and it's a bit faster. And it actually made a big difference in Bloodborne.
Yeah, I can imagine the load times on that are terrible.
Because people were really sort of complaining about the load times, and like when you played it, it actually fixed them a lot.
Really?
Yeah, they were a lot worse. They were a lot worse than that. Because like I played it, I was like, it was, for me, it was just long enough to think about how I died, to have a look at my phone, and then then it was back, you know. But then I showed my stepdad how to play the game. Like, he just got the stock hard drive, and it was just that much longer to make it infuriating. It must have only been like maybe 10 more seconds, but that was the last 10 seconds, like, come on!
Yeah, especially when you keep dying on the same fucking bits as well. You happen to wait for it, yeah, I can imagine. Yes, and I'm going to say, 80 Sneaker Free also says, I did mine a few months back. Definitely required. There you go. Put the vid on my channel. It's easy beans to do.
Yeah, it's easy. I think it's worth doing.
Easy beans.
I'm already using 500 gig. You know. So,
really?
Yeah. I could probably remove some of the stuff, but like, you know.
Yeah. Well, with PS Plus, you just think, yeah, I can't be asked just going on and downloading all the time.
Every game you play, it installs onto the hard drive. So there's games I've played with the disc that I probably might not go back to, or if I do, I'll let it install again. So I can free up space, but it was like, I don't have to think about that yet.
Long Rod Von Hugendon. I click on the video and I hear about wife battering.
Timing.
How is everybody? How is everybody? That's what he says.
Good. We're all good.
Yeah.
If you had to rate yourself out of the interpretive dance of ballet, how good are you?
Sitting down.
Ooh.
Mm.
How about you, Stefan?
I think I'm sort of like mid-performance, and my feet are starting to ache. But like, I know I'm invested in it now, and there's not anything I can do about it. So I'm just gonna keep going.
So you're halfway through the live stream, and I'm wondering if I should continue.
I've got a bit of a headache, you know. It's been a long day.
No, don't tell her. Got note to do. Might as well come on. And there go the 3 viewers that we had.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the comments. So yeah, I'm gonna say, I mean, the most recent PS4 game I bought is Mortal Kombat, which Stefan has played.
How is that?
I love it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, it was funny. On what day was it?
I think it might have been Thursday, Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday. When you realised you were a Mortal Kombat fanboy, Dave.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. I just went, Yeah, I think she's from Deadly Alliance. And then I just looked on my phone and went, fuck, I actually know things. And then when I thought about it, I have bought probably every Mortal Kombat game, apart from the weird ones, like there was the one with Jax in it, the Special Forces one. Do you remember that one? Which is
All
one
the
of
spin-offs.
yeah, which is one of the worst games of all time, apparently. But
I
yeah,
remember like it was that Wind guy, and I was like, "Who's the Wind guy?" You knew who the Wind guy was.
I know. I just went, yeah, he's from Deception, and it's just like, yeah.
Have you got the films as well?
No, and I'm starting to think maybe I should do, just to kind of finalize the deal, just to say yes, you are a big fanboy, you know too much. Because one of my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat games is the Shaolin Monks. Do you know that? Oh, mate, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's co-op greatness. It's a brawler like Streets of Rage, and it's amazeballs. It's really good.
What platform is that? Is it PS2?
It was PS2 and Xbox, and you played as Liu Kang and Kung Lao, and it was awesome. It was basically the first and second games, but retold, and it was actually pretty decent. I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
I vaguely recall it, but I've never played it. I must have seen it on in a magazine somewhere.
It was one of these games I think that came out, and then it was just like people didn't really know what to do with it because it was just one of these games that kind of came out, and it was like. We may have another guest coming in. I've just got to get him in. He is a person from the Netherlands. If you can guess who that is.
Does he like cows?
People.
He doesn't like cows. No, he doesn't.
Ooh. Does he like high altitudes?
I'm not quite certain on that one.
Mm.
I've seen him to wear masks quite randomly. I'm just seeing if he's going to come in. I think we're gonna have troubles. So what I'll do is I'm going to leave this between you two for a moment. So I'm going to disappear for one moment, and you talk among yourselves and entertain the populace. Can you do that?
We will do.
Are you sure? Are you going to be fine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave us with some crisps and Coke, and we'll be alright.
I'll give you some biscuits.
Don't trash it out too much.
I don't think you can do much more. Right, be right back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Steph, have you played Axiom Verge?
No. Any good?
I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit like Metroid. It's like a remake of it, like a fan remake in a way that was really professionally done.
I remember the reviews being really good. I was like, oh yeah, is it on PS4?
It is, yeah.
I have this thing now with PS4 games and like PlayStation Plus and indie games. And I'm like, if I just like wait long enough, they'll just give it to me. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like, what was it? Fez. I was just about to buy that on PS4 and PS3 rather, and then about a day later, it appeared on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
I'd have been gutted if I'd have bought that.
Yeah, and it's like, because I've got PlayStation Plus, I've got this massive backlog of games. You know, the little bar on the main menu. It's got all these games, and it's just like this bar of shame. Yes. I download everything when it's given to me, and then I look at it and go, I've not played you yet.
Yeah.
And it's put me off buying things because I'm like, I've got all these stuff. I should really play first.
Kind of bothers me a little bit because with downloadable games, you've got the problem that they'll disappear off the store one day and they're ultimately disposable. But the worst thing would be if you've never played them. If you've downloaded them and they've sat there and you've never played them, and then your machine goes in a few years, you can't download it again. You think, could have played it. Whereas with the disc, at least you can go back to it.
That's it. I think I'll always buy discs until they prize them out of my hands. But like, even then, like, the amount of games where you get day one patches, and it's like, and without those patches, they're a bit useless. So they stop giving out those patches.
Yeah. It's like Wolfenstein. When I bought that, the new order, it had a 15 gig patch. I'm sure it was about 15 gig, and I'm thinking, if I just tell it to play the game, will it be broken, or is it just the multiplayer bit that's getting patched?
Yeah, I remember that one. It was 5.5 gig,
That was
and
it.
I was like, "That's absurd." I couldn't believe it. And it's like, it took my internet's not amazing. It took me ages to download that. And like when I popped in the new order, the old blood, I was expecting a similar thing. It was like, no, there's no patches with this one.
Yeah. It must have been Drive Club. It was, I can't remember which game it was. I think it must have been Drive Club, and it was like over 10 gig. I mean, just ridiculous.
It's like when you get the PlayStation Plus games, it's like you buy it and then it's the game and then the update file. And sometimes the update file is like the same size as the game.
Yeah.
So it's like you're updating the entire game again. Why am I downloading both?
Mm.
So I wish I wish they would do is if you could manually download a patch. Because with Bloodborne, I ordered Bloodborne, I knew Bloodborne was coming, and it arrived, and I put it in the machine, and I was like, oh, patch. And it took like an hour and a half to download and install.
Yeah.
So I went off and did lots of stuff. I got like a lot of stuff done, but it was like if I could have just logged on in the morning and said like I'm getting Bloodborne later on, can I download the patch now? That would be great.
Yeah. Just say, I'm going to buy this game in the future. Patch it, ready for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been following E3 much? Are you a big E3 guy?
Not really. In previous years, it tends to find me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The content just tends to find me,
I guess
rather than seeking out for it.
I love this. I love all the live streams and the press conferences, though. I don't know. I like to watch them spoiler free and I don't know. I just get really invested in it.
I remember the ones, was it probably about 2 years ago now, when Microsoft and Sony had just announced their new consoles.
Yeah. I think that was 2 years ago. So you got the one where Microsoft came out and had this disaster where they go, oh, we're gonna your games won't belong to you. We're gonna it's all just gonna be license keys, and it's like, but we promise there's a sharing thing, which sounds magical and there's no practical use. And just went on, and Sony were just like, yeah, you can buy, sell discs, and rent discs and everything. And if you could do a disc before, you can do a disc now. And it was like, and that was like a massive victory. Yet at the same time, they weren't actually changing anything.
No. I think Sony probably had a similar regime in place. It's just when they heard the backlash against Microsoft, they probably said, no, we're not going to do anything like that.
We never planned that, honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were waiting.
It feels like now Microsoft are copying Sony in the sort of everything's about games, and it's like with the backwards compatibility, it's like, oh, now you're a Me Too company, and you're late on it, and you've kind of already lost.
Mm.
Well, I'm back. I've managed to find him.
I'm here.
Hey.
I'm here, guys. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Can you see me?
I can't see you.
No.
You have a big giant red nose.
Oh, okay, that's let's see. Do I turn my camera on or something? What?
Turn the lights on.
Oh, fuck, I hate this.
But we've got Wouter joining us. Hello, Wouter.
Microsoft Live Cam. That's the one. It's not giving me any picture, is it?
No.
No. I don't know why.
But how are you?
I'm well. Thank you.
Are you feeling splendid?
Yeah, I've had a long day, and but I'm not tired at all. I was looking forward to this. So this is the highlight of my day.
It might not be by the time you've finished.
Oh, okay. Really? What are you gonna do?
No. We've got a nice round number of 4 now. Because if you get more than 4, it gets a bit noisy, and then everybody just shouts over one another. So I think we're a nice number now, aren't we?
Yeah, I feel like a number. So.
So we'll just go through some comments because I've got some here. I've got Evo Haler, Giles. He says hello.
Hello, Giles.
Hello.
Long Rod von Hugendon says Stephen looks like a 7. Oh, it's Stefan. It's put Stephen. Stefan looks like a 70s Blue Peter presenter today.
No. I do need to get my hair cut. It's well overdue.
Have you got a dog?
No, I've got 2 cats. Do they have a Blue Peter cat?
I don't know. Do they? Anyway, carrying on. AD Sneaker Freak says, I put... Oh, this is to do with a PS4 hard drive, by the way, Walter. I put a 2 terabyte one in mine. 500 was way too small for starters.
Yeah, I think at the moment you've got a choice between like the same speed and 2 gig, or like a faster one but only 2 terabytes, and a faster but 1 terabyte one. And there's SSD stuff, but SSD isn't really much faster because the interface they used basically isn't fast enough for SSD, so you don't get much of a benefit out of it.
It's not the size of your hard disk. It's how many games you play.
I was waiting for somebody to do that joke. I thought it was going to be me. Thank you, Dave. Long Rod says to Evo, hello, Evo, the slender Brenda.
Has anyone noticed that Giles has actually lost a lot of weight?
He has, yeah, he has. He's
I've seen pictures of Giles when he was a lot younger. You wouldn't believe how handsome he looked when he was like 15 stone lighter.
How handsome? On a rating of 1 to 6, how handsome?
Oh, a movie star. Is it 6 movie star? Because then it would be 6.
That'll do me. Right, I've got Lighty Stone, Hannah, saying, have you guys played Infamous Second Son for the PS4? That was a pretty good game, though I felt it was a little repetitive in places.
I played First Light, I guess the old bloods to the new order of Infamous. So, because that was a PS Plus game, I really like First Light actually.
Oh.
You're playing as like one of the female characters from Second Son, and they had this like arena mode where you had to like fight wave after wave and build up combos and stuff, and I got obsessed with that. And I think I got the platinum for First Light. I really got into it, but I found like it almost made me buy Second Son, but then I was like, First Light was almost the right size, I think, for the sort of game it was and the mechanics.
Yeah,
I think it was like small enough that I felt like I could do everything, but at the same time big enough that it felt substantial. And I think like Second Son might be too big.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I like First Light a lot.
There you go. I've also got a string of comments from Giles here. Hello, Rod. Do you like pies? I like pies, and pies, and pop. And pop again. Hello, Malk. It's me, Evo Haler. I live in Wales, above the ground.
Is it true that he invented the cup?
He did. He may have invented the mug as well.
The mug, that's it.
The mug and the cup. Hafu Martley. I can say that right. Hi all. Filipino Diver 69 here. Dishonored 2 though. Dishonored 2 though.
Yeah, Dishonored 2.
I think we did talk about that earlier.
Yeah, I'm glad it's the little girl. Actually, I haven't played Dishonored, but there's a little girl in Dishonored, and she's going to be like one of the main characters in the second one. That and the masked guy, Kovo. I almost wish they just went with the female character, because it was a bit like, I thought that would be really ballsy of them because the trailer's all about her, and it was just like, yeah, it's about her now, and it's like because Kovo wasn't a great character, so there was no like reason they could have kept him. You know, it wasn't people would be like, oh, you've lost Master Chief now, or like, oh, that's not Snake, or you know, no, I don't think anyone would have like complained about Kovo because there's in some expansion packs with an assassin called Dowd, and everyone loves those. I never got around to getting them, but everyone loved those and like thought Dowd was better than Kovo. So, but yeah, if Dishonored 2 can build on Dishonored, I think it's up there with games I'm looking forward to. Because Dishonored was so close to being great.
I couldn't get to grips with it a little bit that I played. I mean, have you two played Dishonored?
A little bit. I played it because I wanted a sequel to Thief, and I heard it was a little bit like Thief, but it felt a little different. So
In a bad or a good way?
I don't know. It felt a lot less like Thief than I expected it to. So I think if I'd have just played it cold, I'd have enjoyed it. But because I went into it,
did you put a jumper on?
Playing it in the fridge. Yeah, I don't know. I think I just wanted it to be Thief, and it wasn't. Not quite.
It was probably more Thief than the actual Thief reboot. So.
What about you, Wouter? Have you played it?
I'm actually looking at gameplay footage
as we speak.
As we speak, I've never even seen the game, but it's a first-person shooter, and I shy away from those because they make me nauseous.
Oh.
And
they make you. I don't know what you said then. You kind of cut out, and it just came out with it makes me kind of nauseous.
Do you get motion sickness?
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm really afraid to start them because basically I'm afraid that I like the game, but I can't play it. So that's why I usually don't.
Do you have the same problem with Elite? Oh, because I know that's
not at all.
Huh.
And don't ask me why. I have I did actually in the first hour, and I freaked out because I paid a lot of money for the PC in the game to be able to play it, and then I turned everything on. And I thought, oh fuck, I'm gonna get sick. But that just lasted like an hour, and it was gone, and I haven't seen it since.
Are you still playing Elite?
Oh yes.
Oh right.
Yes.
I just is it because from what I hear, it sounds it's more you have to just keep doing the same things over and over again. Is that true?
Yeah. That is basically it. It's a simulation, and it's quite lifelike, and that's what it is. But you can choose between different things. You know, you can explore, and you can bounty hunt, and you can go mining. I mean, there's a couple of careers that you can switch between, but every one of them will eventually mean that you'll be doing the same thing over and over. Oh, I'm back.
Are we back? Oh, I'm back.
What happened? Yeah, you are back. And was
Dave's gone.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Is everyone back? What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought I'd asked a bad question. I was like, what have I done?
No.
I think I brought up Destiny and it crashed.
Really?
I was talking and I saw everyone just sitting there looking at me. Is it hello? Are we still on?
No, I just wondered what's going off. Anyway, since that kind of cut that little conversation off there, I'll look at some comments. So Matthew Martley says, yeah, Kovo was a shallow character. Nice take having Emily as a playable character. The DLCs with Dowd are brilliant.
Yeah, I really want to play them. It's just one of those like I don't want to buy the 360 expansion because I'm trying not to like spend any money on there anymore. And they announced a definitive edition.
A definitive edition.
Yeah, Dishonored that's coming out later this year. But then I don't want to buy that just for the expansion bit. Like, I don't know. I like to play them. I'll play them at some point.
I need to get around to it. I do really need to get around to it.
You can probably get it for your PC.
I've got it on the PS3. I've got it on PS Plus. I just haven't got around to playing it because I'm a bad man.
But a sexy one.
Why, thank you. Actually, hang on. Why, thank you. There we go. Anyway, comments. Holy crap, Wouter Bovlander. Sorry, I'm sorry. Did I say that wrong? Is it Bovlander? Is it Bovlander?
Yeah. And then the accent is on the O.
Oh, because he put Bovlander. Okay. In a stream with the Flinch, Stefan, and Dave. That's Lactobacillus.
Oh, yep. Always.
And then when it cut out, he's put, "Oh, is it something I did?" And Evo Hale has just said it's cut out. You know, because he likes chirping in, doesn't he? Bless him.
Well,
so
you know, powered by cow manure, like Mad Max.
All I heard were Mad Max. Sorry, what?
The internet's powered by cow dung, like
Cow dung?
Mad Max, which is powered by pig shit in Beyond Thunderdome.
What was the worst Mad Max film? There you go.
Thunderdome.
I believe it's
Thunderdome.
the one with Tina Turner, right?
That's Beyond, isn't
Thunderdome.
it? Was that Beyond?
Beyond Thunderdome is the name.
I thought there was Thunderdome and Beyond Thunderdome. I thought it was.
No. There's Mad Max 2, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and then Fury Road.
I always thought there was a fourth film.
Fury Road.
Fury Road.
No, but there was a. You know, I thought the Fury Road was the fifth one.
No, he just made it up.
Yeah.
I've got to stop taking paracetamols with beer. Right. So, Thunderdome. We don't need another hero.
Mm.
Oh, but I think we do.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. Dave, I was thinking of you.
Oh.
Maybe you can be our new hero.
Could be.
We should give you a weapon, though. Or a superpower.
I could attack people with a broom.
Or you could design your own 3D model of a super weapon.
I could do that. I'm not very good at it, though.
I disagree.
You like the big, huge cannon, didn't you?
I've seen your cannon, Dave. Yeah.
Everybody loves my man cannon.
Is that what it was?
It was my man cannon. I don't even. Do you know what? I'm supposed to be getting the results for that soon, so we'll have to see. Have to see how I did with that.
How far along are you, Dave, in the whole?
I've done my first year now. So.
The first of, was it 2 or 4? I can't remember.
It's 2. It's 2 for me. So hopefully, I had to write about Spec Ops: The Line, which that was an experience to write about. I know Stefan's played it. Have you played it, Wouter and Dave? Spec Ops: The Line.
I haven't. You recommended it very strongly, and I really should play it.
Yeah.
I haven't.
How about you, Wouter?
Nope, I haven't played it. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Just make sure you stock up on Valium before you play it, and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. It's true though, isn't it, Stefan? It's true. It's
it almost does too good a job at first appearing like a generic sort of army man shooting game, and then it just sort of like changes from there, and it just sort of goes more and more insane the more you play it, and it's great. I really liked it.
Yeah, it's.
I would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, it's really strange because it does this thing, because I had to write about it. The whole game does this thing where it doesn't talk to the character that you're playing as, it's talking to you personally. So it kind of bypasses the character player and talks to you. And it does it a lot, to the point where if you play it again, all the enemies are actually talking to you to stop you from doing what you're doing. Because one of the endings to the game is actually just physically putting the pad down and turning it off. It's that kind of weird.
Yeah. And all the loading screens are talking to you directly. It's like, do you feel like a hero now? And just like the loading screens just insult you and like tell you off basically for what you do in the game.
Yeah, I think the one that I had to write about in my report was killing one person is murder, killing a lot of people is genocide, killing people on TV is entertainment. It was something like that. So it's that whole kind of weird disconnect that, like, if you see it on telly, it's not real. But if you do it in real life, it's a totally different thing. Yeah, and that did a number on me for a couple of weeks having to write that. So, happy fun stream, everyone!
Hey, Dave, but I haven't heard you talk much about storytelling, you know, or programming in your.
Yeah, I've been doing. I've actually. I was narrative designer actually for a project I had to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I was.
Narrative designer. That's the guy writing all the background and stuff.
Yeah, that turned into like 120 pages.
No kidding. Really?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I had to create characters, weapons, everything. So.
Was that as fun as you thought it would be, or?
To a point, because there were storylines I wanted to put in that I wasn't allowed to do. Because my project manager in my team, he wanted. Right. I mean, you. I think it's commonplace that if somebody says to me, "Make something dark," I am going to go into the depths of horribleness and I will pluck something out and I'll use it. And he says, I want a really dark storyline that's really grim and it'll make the player think about what they've done. I ended up with a rape story involving robots, and he didn't want it. So
right in with the rape.
You gave him what he asked for, and he didn't want it.
He didn't want it. Well, I thought rape and robots. I mean, that's as grim as you can humanly go.
Have you seen the E3 Doom trailer? I mean, that is. I mean, if we can have that, we can have raping robots. Come on.
Oh, don't get. Stefan doesn't like it.
I don't. No.
Oh, neither do I. I didn't like it either.
Did you not? Did you not like the? Oh, am I the only one who thinks this new Doom game's going to be pretty good? Maybe
the game is going to be good, but the presentation in this way, no, it was over the top. Wasn't necessary. I don't know.
Divided. Actually, I didn't hear what Dave thought about it. What did you think, mate? Did you think?
I'm just looking at the trailer now. It's kind of odd. Everything looks really kind of waxy.
Yeah, really rubbery, doesn't it? Yeah, I know.
Very stylized.
It's just like Dave to look at the lighting. Come on.
I don't know. It kind of feels like they've taken Doom 3 and thinking, what else can we do with it? And just whacked up all the lighting effects and things like that. But it feels kind of the same as Doom 3.
Yeah, there was a. I think they've scrapped Doom 4 twice now. And at one point it was going to be like really like Call of Duty, and there is like some leak stuff out there.
Yeah,
and it was literally Call of Duty with demons, and like they scrapped that eventually because they thought no one actually wanted it. But like, it just make you wonder, like, if they've actually got someone in charge, like creatively, who actually has a direction and knows what they're actually doing with it.
I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like this new Doom's had some. I mean, like, what was the name of the guy that
John Carmack.
Thank you. You knew who I was thinking of, the guy who left. Yeah, I think that's probably when things went tits up, I think. Until
I think things were going tits up before then.
Mm.
He's basically got a gag order on. He can't really talk about it, but there's been little bits and pieces here and there about Doom 4's development, and it isn't good. It's not good at all. Well, when did Rage come out?
Oh, Christ. 2009? 10? Yeah.
So they were working on Doom 4 before Rage came out. So, you know.
Anyway, let's see what comments we've got. Let's have a looky, Lou, because I think we've been disregarding them again. When everything cut out, Evo Halo just said, "Thank God for that." And then Lightstone said, "Good going, GG." Is that what it means, GG? What does GG stand for?
Good game.
Oh, good game. Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game.
Good game.
Good game. I don't know what mine are, so I'm not answering it. What are your PC specs?
It's a bit personal, isn't it?
Not on a first date. No.
I have a program called Specky. I can tell you exactly what my specs are.
Wouter can give you the answers that you seek. About everyone else. Stefan, what are your PC specs?
Mine's a 2011 iMac, so...
I had to be a douche and say it. I'm sorry.
No, it's... PCs are expensive, and I was sick of Windows, and... a lot of games are coming to consoles anyway. I do want a PC, I just can't justify it.
You don't want a PC.
There it goes again. Ooh.
No,
I would, from that.
I would like a PC, but yeah, the price is to start from scratch, and
mine only cost 500 quid, so
yeah, but I need a monitor, and that's fine, and that's money on. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think I could do it for less than 750 quid, something like that.
You'd throw money out like you were throwing it out to hookers and stuff, wouldn't you? You'd be like,
no, that would be like the baseline for something actually reasonable that would last some time and, you know, add some level of future-proofing.
For a PC?
yeah, or a PC.
Well, yeah.
That's amazing.
About Dave, what's your PC specs?
An Amiga 1000. No, it's a heavily modified 2006 Mac Pro.
Oh,
Double Mac.
There's too many Macs here.
Yeah.
How about you, Wouter?
Well, I won't tell you about my Mac then, but no, it doesn't belong to me. I have a
You stole it.
actually an old. No, it's from work. Wow. Which is actually a very nice machine, but I won't talk about that here. But it's too.
There's so many Macs here.
No,
There's just far too many Macs.
Dirty Macs and flashes.
Dirty Macs.
I love this microphone. It's awesome.
I love your camera too. Nah, I got an old. I upgraded it. Giles told me to get a motherboard of Amazon, which I did, and I got a nice graphics card, and I can play Elite. That's it. But I can't play DayZ because it's too slow for that. So I'm already at the limits of what you can get today, and the very next game that's going to come out is not going to run on my PC.
I don't know what my specs are, so I can't answer it. So there you go. It's alright. It's good. There you go. Here we go. Next question.
Your specs. I think you've got an i5 and a 270.
It's something like that. It's not bad for what it does, and it does all my Maya stuff for 3D, so it's what I need. So it's pretty decent, and I do loads of videos on it. So it, as you know, I churn out videos like a metaphor. Anyway,
like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, like no tomorrow. Thank you. Next thing, Lactobacillus Prime says, cow dung runs everything. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Apart from Thunderdome.
Dave breaks everything. Oh, my phone's broke. Windows Phone. Here we go. Here we go. Oh God, what's happening? What's happening? I can't see what I'm looking for. Here we go. The first Mad Max. This is Lactobacillus. The first Mad Max is actually quite a bit ropey. Thoughts?
It's very indie. It's a very indie. It's like a low budget indie film. So yeah, but it's still better than Beyond Thunderdome.
AD Sneaker Freak says agreed. The Road Warrior was the best for me. That's the second one, isn't it?
No, that's the first one.
The first one. I need to watch Mad Max again.
I think it was in America they renamed it Road Warrior.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to get back to it. Lactobacillus says, stocking up on Valium in order to be able to bear playing a game. Wow, that must be some scary trip, that game. Honestly, you really need it. You really need it for Spec Ops: The Line. It's an experience because it's one of these. It's actually a game that's badly made on purpose. It's actually made to make you think. It's almost like they knew they didn't have anything good on their hands gameplay-wise, so they used the story to kind of lampoon it, because they try and understand how modern military shooters work and how that kind of connects to people and how they react with it, and it's a really weird experience. It's probably one of the top 10 games in my list. I would probably say to people, if you want a really good story, and it's got Nolan North in it as well, so there's a bonus.
What game?
Everything. It's in everything. Lactobacillus again. Very nice perspective that direct talking to you as the gamer instead of interacting with the avatar. It makes you less of an observer but intrudes into your private personal gaming space. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah.
I got that.
That's that.
No, I can talk more about that. It's what you're saying. I don't think Spec Ops Line is a purposely badly made game, but I think they made it to be like all the other games on purpose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's commentary. It's meta commentary on a level which I don't think any game's ever really done.
Yeah. There's a book, if you ever want to read it, because I had to use it for my studies, but it's called Killing is Harmless, and it's literally about the whole game and how it works. I think you were telling me though, Stefan, like there was a guy that had PTSD or something, or he'd actually been to Iraq or something, and he basically said like, yeah, this is too real, and he only could play it for short amounts of time. Could have been you, or it could have been someone else.
Don't think it was. It does sound like me, but I don't think it was.
Somebody did tell me that, and I've attributed it to you, but yeah, apparently he had PTSD, and he just said, yeah, that's too close to the knuckle. There's something called the white phosphorus scene, which is possibly one of the most grim things ever. It's horrible. Anyway, Lactobacillus says, again, he's here again, posted some links to the stream on various platforms to get some more people watching this. Thanks, mate. Stefan's got his. Hang on, I'll just put some. Here you go. Put your thumbs up again. Go on.
Yeah, I'm putting my nose up.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, that's that. Thank you, mate. You are the champion.
Always thinking of others.
Always. He's a top lad. Top lad. Lactobacillus again says, I have a late 2005 Mac Mini G4. Bless him.
Everyone's got a Mac, Dave.
There he goes. You look like you're on your way to a blowjob, Dave.
Anyway, Custado says, spamming the chat, Mark. And Lactobacillus says, yeah, I reckon. That's it. We're up to date.
That's
Awesome.
it.
You want to do a little cheer?
Hooray!
Hooray.
Well, thanks, guys. Anyway, comment, like, and subscribe. No, okay. So, Stefan, what's your favourite kind of hippo?
Are there different kinds of hippos?
Well, you were
Pink
supposed to-
hippos. Pink hippos. There you go.
There are males and females, Stefan.
Females then.
Ooh. About hungry hippos.
Oh,
Horny hippos?
Everybody's
hungry-
just
Hungry Wolves will eat you.
I thought it broke.
and all the viewers just go, just like that. Oh, well, that's the stupid question over and done with. Yeah, I mean, what other E3 news has there been today? I know there was.
Yeah, how do you feel about the amount of sequels and reboots and stuff there is? There doesn't seem to be.
Sell.
A what?
There's not many.
They sell. They make money.
I know they sell. I know it just. Usually at this time in the sort of the console life cycle, you get them sort of the new IPs when everyone's willing to take a chance, and it doesn't seem like we're getting them this time. In my eyes.
No, we're not. No, you're right. It's to be honest. Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
So at the start of the Microsoft presentation, they started with this like spinning head thing, and it got all like these main characters, and it was like Locke from Halo 5. Then it was like someone from Fables. You had Marcus Phoenix. You had Lara Croft, and then you had Master Chief. So they had Halo 5 twice in there, sort of like here are pillars. And it's like, so they put Halo 5 in twice. It was just like, all of those are not new. Not one of those is a new thing. And it's like, I like a good sequel when it's like Fury Road. I know it's a film, but it was an amazing sequel. But like, that's because they give it so much time. And then it came back when they actually had something to do. And like, it just feels like they're just going like, well, this will sell. Yeah. And like, they announced Dark Souls 3, and I was kind of like, you know?
I think games like Splatoon are in the right direction. You know,
You're a
Nintendo's
kid, you're a
quite-
squid, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a... Come on. How annoying is that advert, Dave?
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the box.
Look it up. Look it up. It's just literally just showing the gameplay with this fucking annoying kid just going, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid now. And it just does that for 30 seconds.
So what exactly annoys you about that, Dave?
It's like a buzzsaw in my head.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just-
so it's the sound.
It's just the noise.
Yeah, but look at the game.
It's just-
I thought, I mean, it sort of reminds me of the Blob games.
Oh, the
Right? It's all
blob.
to do with, right.
Yeah. But it's just that advert. It's just put me right off. It's such a silly reason. It's like, it could have been really good if it just didn't have such stupid marketing.
So that's
But
it. You're
the
condemning the game from an advert.
Well, you do more stupid things than I do for condemning things. What was it with? Oh, Adventure Time. Oh, I don't like Adventure Time because he sounds stupid. Or something like that.
No, that's not what I said. I said
I'm paraphrasing on behalf of David Industries.
that's not. No, what I said, I don't like Adventure Time because I think Finn is actually a real horrible human being, and like everything he does, I think, is pretty like disgraceful. And I can't watch this.
Oh, it's just a disgrace.
Yeah, I just can't. It's like he's an animal. That guy.
Is it outrageous?
Outrageous.
Have you two watched Adventure Time?
Oh, I have, yeah. Not too much though. It took a while for me to understand what was going on.
I have no idea myself most of the time.
No, but I have a real problem with these, with the very badly drawn cartoons these days. You know, that puts me off. Oh, I thought you were gonna go for the.
No, I was just getting, I'm getting
No, that's the
comfortable.
thing that puts me up. But when you look at it, Adventure Time, you look at the story development, and you look at at the crazy stuff that goes on, and it's a respectable series. I'm not going too deep into the content because I just don't know. But having Adventure Time, which and the logo reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of thing, and I like that. I like that they made a cartoon out of that. They just could have done, a bit more about the way it looks.
I think it's all very intentional, though.
It is, yeah, probably, yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact that me and Steph, I love him, but there's a character called Lemon Grab, and yeah, I can see Stefan smiling because he wants to say
Lemon Grab. Like, it's
unacceptable.
Unacceptable! Yeah, whenever he's on screen, it's great. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I would look up Lemon Grab because I think part of the pumpkin is probably Lemon Grab, and I probably
You think?
a little bit. So, have you watched it, Dave?
I haven't, no.
You're missing out on a treat there, mate. Missing out on a treat.
Looks a bit like Drawn Together.
Oh, love that show. Love that show. Oh, have you? Oh, Stefan, Drawn Together.
I love Drawn Together. It's weird though, because Drawn Together is clearly a show for adults, whereas Adventure Time, I don't know, it's made for kids, yet half the time I think they do it to amuse adults. It's a bit weird.
Is it perverse?
Not perverse, but like, I don't know, maybe it's something for actually making your product for the audience you're intending it for, rather than like, I don't know. I have complicated feelings on Adventure Time.
Anyway, going back to comments because Mark's asked 1,000,001 questions again. Does anybody want to just say anything about that? About how many comments there are?
I can't see them.
By Mark, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
At least someone's talking to us.
No, it's great. It's great. We love comments. Well, I'm only joking.
Share and enjoy.
Yes, indeed. What do you? Right, this is actually a genuine question because we kind of tickled this when we first started, didn't we? It was, what do you guys think about Xbox One retro compatibility with Xbox 360 games? I think it's a good idea. But it's just.
How did that come about? Is that going to be like a software upgrade for the Xbox One, or are the new Xbox One going to do that? How does that work?
From what I understand, when you put the disc in, it then contacts a central server to then download it.
So so the hardware it's going to be an emulation thing. So the hardware can handle it.
Yeah, but I mean, if the disc's there for it with it all on, why do you have to contact a central server to then download it all?
From reading between the lines, they described it as native, right? But I don't think it is sort of native. I think by native they mean it's not streamed like PS Now. I think it's going to work like Xbox compatibility works on Xbox 360, where they have to manually sort of tweak it to make it work. So I think that's why you have to download it. You can't just put a disc in and play the disc. They'll have to mess with it on their end and send you like a messed with copy that'll actually work, and then you play that. So, which I think overall having backwards compatibility is a great feature, and it would be nice for both consoles to have had that from the start. But it does feel a little late now.
I just wonder if that will take as many updates as the modern software.
Yeah, I mean. You guys, I think I heard you guys talking about it actually, like how it was like 5 gigabytes for a certain game for a certain update. Which game was that?
It was New Order.
Yeah.
I mean, what's in it?
Right. That's what are there release notes? Do we know what we're getting?
I know for a fact. You know, Sonic Boom, the one on the Wii U.
Yeah.
They released something like it was somewhat massive. It was almost the size of a full game. It was like 9 gigs, and it still didn't fix anything. So it was like, What did you guys do? What was it you were giving us for this 9 gigs? Mind you, Sonic Boom's a story in itself, isn't it? So,
Well, well,
go on. Sorry, go on, Wow. Go on.
well, I was talking with Mark the other day about this, and he said, well, it's not always possible to patch an executable, so you have to send the whole thing, even if you want to change only a small portion of the software. So that's probably what's happening. You're probably getting sent like a good chunk of the game because they can't send anything less.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for the Xbox 360, they actually took this into account because for the entire like duration of the 360 sort of lifetime, they had a patch maximum, which was something ridiculous, like maybe 10 meg or something like that. So they had to make sure every game was patchable in this like really small way, and then like they've just stopped doing that. And maybe it's hard to do, I don't know. But like I remember like the Dead Rising game for Xbox One had a 13 gig patch. I think Master Chief Collection was 20 gig. You know, it's gone way out of hand. It's like it went from just like a 10 meg patch file to like 20 gig.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just developers that are scared of bricking the game. It's like if you download a partial patch and it patches it on the console, if something goes wrong, you've got something that's not quite the original and not quite the patched version. And I wonder if they just think it's easier to just download the whole lot and replace all the files.
Seems weird though, like 360 games, the patches for them were like tiny, but they worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember reading a bit about it because there was a bug in Borderlands 2 which they couldn't fix. Like, it was a really rare minor bug, but they fixed it on the PS3 version, but they couldn't fix it on the 360 because of how the patching system works. That's how I learnt about it. But like generally, they never really seem to have a problem with patching games before in that small size.
But yeah, the next question that Mark asks, which is quite a good one, will that lure Sony into putting PS3 or perhaps PS2 onto PS4? I would love PS2 compatibility again, because I mean it wasn't on PS3 and I really wanted it, and there were so many great PS2 games, but they won't do it. They won't do it because HD remakes, Stefan, going back to that, that's what they love doing. They churn them out, them bastards, on Sony's side.
Both sides, really.
Oh no, Sony's. I think Sony's worse at it. I've Sly Raccoon, Last of Us. What else? Got Jack and Daxter. God of War.
To be a bit cheeky though, I think it's because Sony have more properties they could actually do that with. You know, I don't think Microsoft have the legacy collection, that Sony does. If they did, I don't think Microsoft would pass up the opportunity. Sometimes they're good, I don't mind a good remaster.
Yeah, I mean like Silent Hill 2. We remember.
Yeah, if it's done like I think people underestimate how much work it takes. People go, oh, it's on PS2, that should be easy to do on PS3, and it's not.
Well, yeah, wasn't that the problem with different. Last of Us? There was the developer Naughty Dog who developed Last of Us said that it was really hard because they spent that long optimizing the game for the cell processor, and it's like you've got to undo all that to make it work on something a bit more normal.
Yeah, because the cell processor has some like really fast co-processors, which only can have like a tiny amount of fast memory. So if you optimize around that and then it's suddenly gone, then you have to re-engineer it all.
Yeah.
PS3 was a bit weird with its programming language as well, wasn't it? It was a bit iffy from what I remember. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, going back into it, well, we're back on Mad Max again. AD, Sneaker Freak, says Road Warrior was number 2. First was just called Mad Max.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't a big number 2.
Lighty Stone Hannah says, Dave, you're almost at 500 subscribers. subscribers. Been around this kind of number, and I'm not getting any further. It's the summer lull. Nobody watches YouTube during summer. It's
I've been getting a few subs myself, actually.
Just you then, Dave.
It's just
I've been paying people to come and see you.
is that it?
that was a very long.
Maybe it's the pumpkin scaring them off.
Yeah, or I'm not doing it enough. You know, maybe that's it.
It's a good character, Dave. I haven't told you enough, but that's a good character, and you play him well. That's
not as good. Not as good as this guy.
The executioner.
Anyway, next, Custado says there are pygmy hippos.
There are.
They're pretty cute until they start to spray poop everywhere.
Yeah, but aren't they just baby hippos?
Tiny hippos.
I know when the big one starts spraying shit, you have to take cover.
It's more like a fire hose, I think. Yeah, this is when we take
about drowning than being eaten.
Hungry hippos, after all. So yeah, what else we got? I was just going to say, when we was taking the piss out of Mark and I was doing it with jest. Well, with 3 people watching, someone has got to do it. With talking to us. We love comments. We do. We really do. On patches, the Xbox 360 had super small patches. I reckon the reason why. Oh, hang on. I reckon the reason why that is there were strict patching rules, and they do actually patch IPS patch the executables. He's actually written that. I don't know if that's how he wants to write it.
IPS, that's the thing. Yeah.
Is that a thing? That's me just showing my ignorance then.
Yeah, you basically can inject code into existing code.
Oh, right, okay. On Xbox One, PS3, and PS4, they send the whole files over. It's not patching the files that you already have on the disk HD. Very uneconomical on the hard drives. It is a crying shame Microsoft did that.
I would think that the patch just overwrites the stuff that you have, so it's uneconomical on the bandwidth, not so much on the hard disk.
Does the same thing happen on PC? That same thing.
PCs never get updates.
I don't know how Steam handles it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that the Xbox consoles just run like some version of Windows, right?
It's Metro, isn't it? Well, on 360 it is. I don't know what it is on Xbox One.
Metro is just interface, though. It will be a cut-down version of Windows, though.
So basically, file system-wise and memory management-wise, it'll just be Windows.
Oh wait, no. The Xbox One has 3 operating systems. I remember
3?
About 3, yeah.
You could have called it the Xbox 3 then.
Yeah, they should. I can't remember what they all were, but there was like a main one, a fast one for the games, and one to manage that sort of snap stuff.
Oh, there was. You might be. You're thinking of. Is it Toast?
No, you can have things at the side of your screen on the Xbox One.
It's when you hold the button down, isn't it? You hold the Xbox button down, and you get like another menu.
The blades or whatever they were called. Yeah, I know.
No. You could literally have like a sidebar.
Oh, could you? I didn't.
One. Yeah.
Oh. All right.
It's the same on the PlayStation. I just find it bizarre that on both platforms you've got 8 CPU cores and this thing's gobbling 2.
Yeah, there's the thing about the
Why do you
memory.
need 2 cores?
Write them a letter. Write a letter to your MP, Dave.
Yeah.
So I think in both of them, they have like 8 gig of RAM, and like I think in the PlayStation 4 only 5 gig can be used by games, and maybe like 4 on the Xbox One, something ridiculous like that.
Well, I don't like it.
My Commodore 64 only has 64K. Come on, guys.
That's a rounding error.
Yeah.
We should write to our MPs.
Write to our MPs. Walter, write to your MP.
I will. I'll write to yours as well.
Imagine write to mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just write in random things like, why has it got 8 CPU cores and it's using 2? Signed, Dave Price, Angered of Sheffield.
I'm just seeing Dave's face now.
Yep, we lost a viewer from me doing that. There we go. But yeah, I mean, well, do you think the Xbox One's got any kind of life in it, though? Because there's a part of me that wants an Xbox One. Oh, I'm sorry.
Depends on the. I suppose it depends on the exclusives.
Are there any? I'm just thinking, are there any?
Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, if you could play Halo and Gears of War, and Halo and Gears of War, and Halo and Gears of War, and Forza. I feel like Forza.
The weird thing is that The Witcher 3 is meant to be better on the Xbox One because because of the performance not being so good, it changes the resolution while it's running, and you don't notice it. But because of that, the frame rate is better than the PS4, which is 1080p all the time. And you think,
how's that work?
It's what Rage did. That's why it runs at 60 frames a second. It changes the horizontal resolution, and it just squashes it down and stretches it, so you don't notice the difference in quality, but it runs faster. And they've done that on The Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was never a big fan of The Witcher. I tried it and I just couldn't get on with it.
First one was a bit complex. It was like you've got to learn how to do all this crafting and what's the other one, alchemy, and things like that, and it didn't explain it. It was like, here's some stuff, figure it out.
Yeah, because Stefan lent me the second one, and it's just like, yeah, do all these weird complex movements to do sword fighting, and it's just like, why can't I just press a button?
Yeah.
Boom, gone. And it's like,
Have you played
what
Dragon
is
Age
this?
Origin?
You're sorry?
Inquisition, sorry. Dragon Age Inquisition. The one on the PS4. No.
I've
No, I
played
know.
Inquisition, but yeah. Inquisition is a lot simpler, I guess, but boring after a while.
I find it weird though, because you start the game and you go to the hinterlands and you've got the plot, and then it just seems to disappear.
What the
So,
plot?
Yeah.
it drops you off in this area and then just abandons you. There's no plot. There doesn't seem to be anything for a long period of time.
It's
So there's no
I think
story.
really-
No story.
There's tons of story, but the pacing on the game's really weird because it's quite kind of easy to get caught doing like minor little activities, and I think it does a bad job of like telling you to like go home basically, because you do this quest in the hinterlands, and like when you think back on it, it's like, oh, I was meant to like leave the hinterlands and go back to my base.
Yeah.
But it was so vague about it. I spent another like 5 hours wandering around the hinterland doing odd jobs, and I was a bit like, get a bit bored of this.
Yeah, that was my problem, because I tried doing some of the later missions, and you feel really underpowered. You think, oh, maybe I should have stayed there longer and just built the character up, and then tried to do the later missions. But it's probably just, as you say, it's pacing.
Yeah, I played on hard, and I got like properly stuck on a few of the story missions because like they'd have a final boss at the end, and that would be significantly harder than anything else up to that point. And like, so I'd spend hours doing the story mission, then hit a brick wall, and like sometimes I had to give up, revert to an old save file, and then level up, and then come back to it. Yeah, because a lot of people said, oh, you don't need to do all the boring side quests. You can just do the main story. But I found if I just did the main story, then I was underpowered. So I had to do the boring side quests to raise the level, and it took ages to level up. And like, yeah, I finished it. It took me like 100 hours, and there was just a point where I was like, I've put so much time into this, I've got to finish it now, and yeah, it just wore me out.
You should never ever feel that a game is a chore. Never, ever. It should be something that you want to actually do.
Yeah.
Nothing should ever make you feel like, oh, I've got to finish this now.
Right.
Have you ever played Alien Isolation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
anyone that ever finished that one.
I finished it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Did you feel that about 4 hours before the end, it feels like it feels like you're about to finish the game, and then it feels like
It brings another lot of game on you. Yeah.
When you set off the reactor and stuff like that.
because you get that's it, the reactor, and you think, okay, the game's about to finish, and then you realise, oh no, that's not the end of the game. There's more.
Did you like that though? I thought it was a bit of a dick move.
I wanted to finish it at that point.
Hmm.
It maybe went a bit long, but like it was still my favourite game from last year. It was at least trying something new, and it nailed the atmosphere. And I like the AI and the systems. It was like, here's a system, here's an AI, play against it. And I think for the large part, it did change it up throughout the game. It was you're never doing the same thing too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's a bit too long.
I think that's one game that I do want to go back to play again. You know, there's not many games that I tend to find that I'll play it more than once from like modern consoles, but that's one that I think is worth going back to.
It's a strange one because, the one thing that annoyed me with the game was the androids. I didn't find them scary. I just found them really annoying.
Really?
They were just.
I thought they were more scary
I
than
just
the
didn't find them at all.
Well,
They were just annoying.
Terrifying. What difficulty did you
They
play
were
on?
annoying. I played it on. Which one did I play it on? I think I played it on hard. I think it was the one game I did do on hard.
Yeah, there's the bit which scared the shit out of me when you are trying to get into the central server room, and all the way through you can use your stun prod on the androids to like stun them, and then you can take them out, and then it just suddenly stops working on them when you get to the server room.
Yeah,
so I did it, and it just didn't do anything. It just turned around with his big red eyes and looked at me, and I was like, oh shit.
No, I just found them annoying. Because I remember there was one bit where it was coming after me, so I thought, fuck it, I'll run. And I got into the vent, and it just stands there at the vent looking at you. So it's just like, dude, I'm right in front of you. You can get me. I'm yours. And it's just like, don't run. I want to help you. Don't run. And it's just like, every little bit of horror you've had has been annihilated with that. And also as well, this is true, and I wish I'd got it as a screen share thing. One was coming after me, so I was flame throwing the fuck out of it, and it just went, do you know that I can withstand heats of 200 like that, and then just died. It literally made this noise and went in one go, and I just couldn't find them scary. I just found them irritating, the nuisances every step I could take. And the fact that they were always pleasant everywhere they fucking went, looking a fucking like a gelled up candle. And it's just
Did you prefer
fucking
the
annoying.
survivor mode, Ben?
You are?
Did you prefer the survivor mode?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Because it was just pure alien. Pure alien.
What's different about the survivor mode?
You get a mission,
You have...
and it's just you and the alien.
Okay, but do you actually fight the alien, or do you just dodge it all the time?
You pretty much have to dodge it. That you can't. You can burn it. You can like use the flamethrower on it, and it'll keep it off your back for a while.
Okay.
but then it's like it's going to come back, and the fact you've actually used that flamethrower, it's going to go back to where you were originally, and it's going to kind of figure out you're close by. I know you're here. I'm going to find you.
But
And
at
it
least you have
does.
a weapon, right? You have a weapon in this game. I was watching some gameplays of Outlast. You seen Outlast?
I've heard of it, but that's with the camcorder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you have no weapon, and that's that's scary because all you can do is run, basically, run and hide.
It's weird. You do have weapons, but they're not useful.
Right. Right.
You have limited ammo for the flamethrower and limited. You can make stuff like pipe bombs and stuff like that, but like they actually even added in a mode after the game came out, which made it even scarcer resources. And yeah, so even though you can attack it, you only can do it a limited amount of time, and it's best to try and avoid it if you can anyway.
But is it possible to play Alien Isolation without fighting at all? Can you play it as a stealth game?
It's primarily a stealth. Yeah. You have if you attack it, you're pretty much setting yourself up to fail because it'll sniff you out. It will find you and it will kill you.
The alien.
Yeah.
But the androids, can you avoid all of them, or do you have to fight them?
I think there is an achievement you can get for just going through it and not attacking anything. I think.
Yeah,
So
okay,
it is possible.
but it's unlikely that you'll make that.
Did you do it, Stefan? Because I know I didn't do it.
I think there are a few moments where you basically have to leg it, but I mean, yeah, largely I think with androids you don't have to kill them at all. With the alien, I think there are a few moments where you have to use your flamethrower and put it off. There's a bit where you have to try and see it in an area, and I don't think you can stealth your way through that. Once you activate the door, I think you have to sort of run for it. But largely, it's a stealth game.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? Did you get through it without attacking it?
No, I attacked it. I didn't really bother with things like the flash bombs and things like that, all the distractions. I tended to just stick to the flamethrower.
I used there was like a little box you could throw that made noise. I started using that, and they started getting interested in that. Yeah, but it was just like I did it twice. Once I went one in one corner, one in another, and then I threw another one in another corner, and it just went, "You're having a fucking laugh, aren't you?" And it literally knew which corner I was in. It was really weird because I threw it in freakers, hoping it'd go away, and it just went, "Of course you're in that corner. You're one who's throwing it," and it just literally ran straight at me.
It went for the only silent corner.
Yeah, it's like that's the only one that hasn't made a noise. And every time I've been to that one and that one, I know it's not going to be in that one. You're in the other one, and it literally just pelted it. So it's you could smell fear. But yeah, let's go back to comments. Mark, Lactobacillus, IPS can change a couple of bytes inside an existing file. Just send the different bytes with address data over and you're golden. It does take very good version management. If you're lazy, you just send entire files over.
That's what we talked about, yeah.
Costado just said, and Forza. That was from before.
I mentioned Forza, yeah.
I know, it just said called it. It just says called it. Retro on Limb, he says, hello, fat boy.
He's talking to who?
there was a joke where basically it was about Fat Boy. It was Harry Yak. He just called somebody Fat Boy, but he went, hello, fat boy, like that. And so I love this. This microphone's awesome, in case you were wondering. Does anybody else want to do some... Stefan, do some smooth jazz. I haven't heard you do smooth jazz into your microphone for ages.
Hello. Welcome to After Dark Radio.
How about that?
That was good. Dave?
Now then. Too soon.
Wouter?
What do you want from me?
Just do a radio announcer voice.
A radio announcer voice. God damn. I can't do it.
That's that.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Smooth jazz.
Like that. Just like that. But yeah, I think we'll finish up about 11 o'clock. We'll continue with the show for another 20 or so minutes, since we've still got 3 minutes.
With the show.
Indeed. There was one announcement before E3, and Stefan talked to me about it. I mean, do you guys like XCOM?
Never played it, although I really should have, because it was an Amiga game.
Outrageous.
I know.
Outrageous. How about you, Wouter?
XCOM?
Never
heard of it. What is it?
Oh. Well.
What? What?
What?
I'm sorry.
It was on
XCOM.
PlayStation Plus, wasn't it? About a year ago.
It's essentially you basically have a squad and you have to defeat aliens, which I know doesn't sound exciting, but it's
You barely sold it there, Dave.
no. Well, essentially, aliens come to Earth to try and take it over, and you're part of a team called XCOM. I think it's extraterrestrial, something like that.
Are we talking about XCOM 2 here already?
And XCOM 2 is on the way. That's the reason for this conversation, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But yeah, essentially, you have a squad of 4 or 5 people that you can take in to defeat aliens that are trying to basically rule the world. And if one of your characters dies out there, they die forever. They never come back. So it's like this whole, if you take them out there, if they die, they will never come back. It's really good. I know I'm not selling it very well, but it's the guys who made Civilization. So did you like Civilization?
I hated that.
Well,
now, this is like a strategy game, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I've never been much for strategy games, but that's because I don't think. I have to play a game on intuition, and as soon as I have to think, I lose. So there's no point in playing for me. But I have to be honest. I've never heard of the title even.
Right.
So I'm going to be interested from now on.
It's really good. It's really good. I mean, I'm surprised you've not played it, Dave. I thought that would have been your thing.
I know. I mean, I really like Civilization. I played Civ and Alpha Centauri, but no, I've just never played it. I've seen it on the Amiga, and for some reason never got around to playing it.
Well, that ended that.
I'm so sorry, Dave.
My pile of shame.
Hang your head in shame, sir.
Yeah, I will, and I'm looking at a trailer from 2010.
That's right.
I think it's a PC game. I'm looking at.
I think you'd like it. I
Set
think
in the
you'd genuinely like it.
Well, it's what I see is first-person shooting, but what you told me is.
Oh no, that's the Bureau.
Oh God, no, not the Bureau. You're not looking at the Bureau, are you?
XCOM trailer, E3 2010. Check out the new trailer for the still new XCOM trailer.
Yeah, that's the Bureau.
Oh, that sucks ball bags. You don't want that.
Set in the
Oh no!
It's a bit confusing because they announced a first-person shooter called XCOM, and then it sort of went away for a while, and then a strategy game called XCOM showed up, and then came out, and then the first-person shooter that was called XCOM became a third-person shooter, and they changed it to the Bureau.
Oh, that's I found that game in the for very cheap, and I immediately thought, well, this isn't going to be worth anything.
No, I'd steer clear. Steer clear. It's
okay, but I'm still looking for a representative. What the?
Let me find it.
Well, I'm finding very strange things. Many of them Russian.
Russian?
Yeah.
Are you on your porn sites again?
Oh, oh. I'll just look at XCOM 2 announcement trailer.
There you go. Hey, look up XCOM. 2011. That might be a better one.
XCOM 2011.
Was it 20? When did it come out? I don't even know when it came out.
2012.
It might even be 2012. Yeah.
2012, and then Enemy Within was 2013.
I'll have a look. Let's play XCOM Enemy Unknown.
That's it.
That's it? Okay.
That's the Badger.
Yeah. Oh, let's play a walkthrough. Well, let's have a looky.
But yeah, it's I enjoyed it. I had it on Xbox 360, and it worked really well with the pad and everything. So
I've never owned a 360. Do you think I should?
yeah, definitely. You can pick up one for really cheap now. So yeah, I'd definitely say so. So it's really good.
What are the games to own on the 360?
I'm going to leave it to the floor. I mean, guys, you guys have 360. Gears of War.
Bayonetta.
This is a good game, by the way.
The Mass Effect series. It started out on 360.
Okay. I have those on PS3 now.
What else?
Death Smiles.
Death Smiles. That's not too bad. Borderlands games. They were pretty good on there.
Borderlands, yeah.
They were pretty decent.
The thing is, a lot of the games are also on PS3, but they just tended to be better on the 360.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So that's where I got them all. In terms of like flat out exclusives.
But is that because of the hardware specs on the 360? Are those better?
I just think developers had an easier time with it. When I think with like the first party titles on PS3, they could throw the resources and time to make it work right. But like out of the box, I think it was easier with the 360. So a lot of multi-platform games ended up doing better.
You can tell the difference in a lot of the earlier games.
Yeah, especially at the start. Yeah, the start of the generation. There's some really ropey PS3 versions and stuff like Skyrim. On PS3.
Skyrim worked really well on the 360. I thought the loading times were horrible though, unless you installed it.
Why wouldn't you install it? But the PS3 version, apparently that just slowly breaks over time, and they never fixed it.
All right.
So the larger your save file gets, basically the more changes to the world you make, and the more it has to track them, the slower the game gets, and you can basically get it down to 1 frame per second. Just like you can just cripple your game permanently by just doing too much in it. And they never fixed it because they couldn't figure it out. There wasn't enough memory because of the memory. Because the PS3 had split memory, so it was 256 system memory and 256 megabyte graphics memory.
All right.
Whereas the 360 had 512 shared, so you could redistribute it.
Right.
As you see it so fit on the 360, we couldn't do that on PS3, and I think they just had trouble with that.
I'm just having a look to see what was on it. Let's have a look.
But basically, I mean, if I want to avoid the red rings of death, I should go for the black slim one, right?
Yeah.
It's quieter as well. The original Xbox is really noisy.
I'm just having a look. Halo. Actually, we were talking about it earlier in the night. ODST. Halo 3.
ODST's great. I can't see my games from here.
I'm just having a look.
The Fable series. That was pretty good.
Fable. Cameo.
Fable 2. Did Fable 2 come out on 360 only, or are there others? Really?
Yeah. Fable 2 and 3 were only 360. And then they released the remake of the first.
There's a 3 as well. Gee, I've just started playing 1.
I was never a big fan of the Fable series, but I understand why people like it. It's not
well,
my thing.
I'm playing Fable, Kingdom Hearts, and Xenoblade Chronicles at the same time.
Ooh,
wow.
Well, not that I'm going to continue all of them because that would just be too much. But I'm getting it's a good chance to compare the games, and I think Kingdom Hearts is the worst of them, and
I
Fable's
thought
the
the
best.
the first Kingdom Hearts is a bit ropey. I thought.
I just don't get it. I don't like the character design where the main character has really big hands and really big feet,
Yeah.
and I also don't like. But I'm just at the beginning that you're playing the game and all of a sudden you're dropped into a Disney cartoon. You're looking at Donald Duck. I just don't get that.
No, I mean, why? Basically,
Well,
just
my mind is. I mean, I'm watching, and then my mind is suddenly thinking, what just happened?
in the second one, because I remember playing the second one first. You meet up with Tron, and it's just like, why are we meeting up with Tron? What the fuck's Tron got to do with anything? And you're just like, all right then, thanks, Tron. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying.
It's a fantastic
yeah.
opportunity to play Tron as a video game.
It's we're probably going to piss everybody off saying that like Kingdom Hearts is rubbish, but
I never tried any of them. I had a hard time with
bashing one button. That's literally all it is, isn't it, Wouter? Just bashing one button.
Yeah,
constantly.
but I mean that's not always a bad thing.
I always thought it was with that, because in the second one you have to kill 100 enemies with the same bashing button. It's just X, 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 X,
Okay,
X, X.
so that tends to get kind of boring.
You just think there's no tension. It's just like, skip to the end. A
Yeah,
little bit.
okay, I know what you mean. But then I tried Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a very expensive game and hard to find, and causing me to think that it was really good. But now that I've played it, I don't think it's as good as I expected it to be.
Oh.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, have you got the new 3DS as well?
Nope.
I thought it was on the 3DS, or is that on the Wii?
It's on the
No,
Wii.
it's on the new 3DS, and there's a sequel, or is that a reboot on the Wii U underway? This September.
Sequel, I think.
I think so. I pre-ordered it because I think it's going to develop in price the way.
It's an investment, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I don't really do that, but I wanted to give myself a reason to finish Xenoblade Chronicles because now I have to finish it before September.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy 12?
Yes.
Is
They're
it like
very
that?
similar.
Yeah, because I didn't like 12.
Oh, okay. I really liked it, and I think that's why I like Xenoblade.
You see, this is the big divisive one. Final Fantasy 12. I couldn't get on with the combat. I don't like that MMO style setup. I find it really, really removed and I find it really disjointed. Like there's certain elements where you could got like free movement, but then everything's on timers, and it does something to my brain. And
That was the first Final Fantasy game I ever played.
What? Dave,
Yeah.
mate, I am so sorry.
So did you go backwards from there? Did you play the older ones?
I played 12 first, then I played 10, then 6, then 13.
How
You're not
did you
playing seven?
feel? How did you feel about them going backwards from 12?
I really enjoyed them. They just they felt more like games like Grandia, because I'd played Grandia and I'd played Lost Odyssey on the 360, and Final Fantasy X feels a lot like Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, it's it's almost like an unofficial Final Fantasy game, Lost Odyssey. It's
That's an
I really
Xbox
enjoyed it.
exclusive. There you go,
it
Wouter.
is.
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
Mm.
I found it really depressing, Lost Odyssey. It was the one where he couldn't die, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was is immortal and all his family died and everyone he met died and
Oh, another one. Blue Dragon. There's another one. That's another exclusive.
yeah, it's not very good though.
I remember you showing it me. Well, you lent it me, and I think I lasted 10 minutes, and my brain couldn't accept it. Just could not
Well,
accept it.
it looks beautiful, at least at the time. I don't know how it still holds up, but like, I don't know. And I really liked what they were doing with the combat as well, because like you could see the enemies in the world and choose where you fought them and how you approached them, like affected the battle. But then it was still like a traditional turn-based thing. But like, I don't know, it just didn't work. Just something about it.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of the early 360 JRPGs were all based on the Unreal Engine, and the developers didn't know how to use it properly, and you get games like Last Remnant that have got horrible, horrible frame rates, but they're great games.
Yeah, because the original Mass Effect was the same, wasn't it? Like, I just remember like the weird texture thing it had.
Yeah.
Like actually texture upon texture upon texture, and then bump mapping had just come at last minute. So
yeah, it's like
it just like, oh yeah, it just didn't know what it was doing. Anyway, just to look at some comments here. Custado says night peeps. So good night, Custado. I don't know if you've gone. Night.
It's an hour ahead there, isn't it? In the Netherlands.
It is late.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
it's almost midnight.
We'll be finishing. I think I think it's a logical place to finish up. I think, but I've got one last question here. So Hannah says, Lighty Stone, any upcoming projects?
Ooh.
I've got some, but I'm going to leave it out to all you first.
Yeah, I've been getting back into my Commodore 64, and I've always sort of had a plan to do some development just to fill in the blanks that I had when I was just a kid and I couldn't get all the programming techniques, which I can now, and I'm thinking of doing some of that and making some videos about it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play games. That is definitely a project.
How about you, Dave?
More Dreamcast stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been messing around, not messing around, trying different things out for the last year or so, and it's just working out what works and what doesn't on the hardware. So I finally decided, right, just make a game. Because I've made probably 2 or 3 tech demos, and it's like, okay, I know what the machine can and cannot do. Just make a game.
And it's going to be a racing game, Dave?
No. A lot of people looked at that video and said it's a racing game. It's not. It's on a track, but it's not a racing game.
It's a roller coaster game.
It could be. I did play around with it. That you've got the track kind of rotating like this, but you can make it turn. It kind of rotates on the Z-axis, so that works now. But there was a lot of 3D transformations you've got to do to make sure that if you've got the track and you've got the vehicle on top of it, when you rotate the track, you've got to make sure that you position the vehicle on top of the track and not just on top of it. So you have to rotate everything around. So that took a lot of work just to get the maths right. But yeah.
How about you, Stefan? Oh, sorry, go on, Dave. Sorry, I didn't know.
That's it. More to come soon.
Stefan?
One day I'll do some videos on my Japanese Dreamcast stuff, and one day I'll do my retro video stuff when I get over myself. I get obsessed with production stuff and like how everything has to be fancy and everything like that, and then I never get around to doing it because I made it too difficult. But you know. I want to do videos on old PC games that like I still think are doing things games now haven't still aren't doing. Like one of them is Duke Nukem 3D and how the level of interaction in that game is still far beyond nearly everything we have this day. Like, come on guys, what's going on? That game came out in like '95.
Yeah. Yeah, my project. I'm making a game at the moment, so I'm doing that over the summer holidays. I've been doing some concept art for it today. So
Oh, cool.
yeah. So do
Making
you
a
remember
game
the?
on what?
It's based on. Do you remember the weird animatic I did a while
Yeah.
back, which was the all the characters in it and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff? It's based on that. So I'm going to make a game that's it's in Click Team Fusion. I'm using at the moment, which is relatively simple to use, but I can just kind of just put everything into it.
Not pumpkin cart, is it?
This what?
It's not pumpkin cart.
Oh no! Hang on. I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can show. I wonder if I can put the actual image up. I don't know. I'm not very good with this. But yeah, I mean, basically, what I'm trying to do is make a. Do you remember Super Smash TV?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a game like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try and run with it. But yeah, this is something I've been working on. So I'll see if I can get the picture up.
Well, it's actually the coding and the graphics and the music and the whole shebang.
Yeah, I'm not very good with the actual music bit, so I'm going to need help on that front, if I'm honest.
But it'll have a hell of a story, Dave.
I'd like to think so. Here we go. It's
The first 100 hours is just intro.
yeah. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that.
See it?
Wow. Look at the tits on her.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. So that's my little project. So I don't know if I can kind of swing it across. Can I swing it across? I don't think I can. Can you actually see that, guys?
Yeah, I can see something.
You've made it worse, though.
Have I made it worse? How about now? Is that better?
That's better.
There we go.
It's on
Yeah,
top left-hand corner, though. It's not, like, centered.
yeah, I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to. This is all new. This is all. Yeah, it's me again. Hi.
Well, it's an ambitious project.
But yeah, I'm trying to basically make something with that. So there's like 5 characters. So there's we had to do like a project, and there was 5 different characters. So there was the magician, the traditionalist, the prodigy, the generalist, and
Rapist.
the rapist.
The robot rapist.
Sounds
I like
like
that one as a bonus character. When you complete the game, you get the rapist.
The DLC.
But yeah, don't know when I'll make it, but it's something I've been wanting to do, and yeah, see how we go.
But it's fun to have something to aim for.
Sorry, say it again, Dave.
Is it coming out for the CDI?
Don't tell me. I tell you something. I've been added to a CDI appreciation group recently, so I think I've.
Is it just you, Dave? Is it just you?
It's just you.
Do you know what, Stefan? There's me. There's Dan Hyatt, who's one guy, a YouTuber, and Carl Bremner. That's it. 3. There might be a 4th guy. It might be Seb. He's a big CDI fan. But yeah, I think that's generally it. I don't know if there's any more comments. We'll just double check. Let's just have a double check before we go. And we words out the side of my mouth. No, that's it. So thanks everyone for watching. The one guy who's left, I don't know who you are, but thanks for watching. But yeah, I've enjoyed doing it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame about my camera though, but I'll fix that next time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to do this again. So I'll say my normal stuff. So comment, like, and subscribe as you normally do. I've been Dave. I've also had the delicious Mr. Webster.
Bye-bye.
Also, the delectable. Oh, hang on. Puss is here. Oh, bye, Puss. And we also got the delectable.
Bye-bye.
And also we've got the delectable Stefan.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Delectable.
And also we've had the one, the only.
Walter. Oh my God.
So thank you everyone.
Thanks
for
Dave.
watching, and we'll see you again some other time. Bye. 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 I'm not doing Nazi songs. Bye.